Hey everybody, it's Andy here, aka Montolio, and we are back for round two of the Vintage Challenge. We're playing Pitch Dredge today. Uh, our opponent's recent results have them playing Doomsday. I don't think Doomsday is a terrible matchup for the type of build I'm playing. Unfortunately, as often the case though against Doomsday, you want to be on the play versus the draw, and we unfortunately did not win the die roll. So we'll see how that works out for us. I do suspect this will be a tough match, but certainly Dredge can get it done. Okay, that's a good start. We've got a Force of Will in hand, a double Bazaar to be able to take off and compensate for being on the draw potentially. The downside of this particular hand is that, as you can see, we currently do not have a Dredger in our hand. We're keeping. They kept theirs. And I know this player to be quite diverse in their range. I think I do want to put a stop to that. If I can. Okay, awesome. Wouldn't mind finding a Mind Break trap. Let's see what we can find dredge-wise. Okay, we did hit a dredger. Certainly not our best one. I'm going to keep the Creeping Chill here. The reason is if I find a grief, like if I somehow miss on my dredging, I'll find a grief, that's a possibility. Mindbreak Trap was a really nice pull for us because it gives us hope if my opponent decides to combo off here. And it is possible that their Ancestral was bait and they held back on forcing back because of that. But I think there's a very reasonable chance that we're going to be able to start doing some damage here next turn with the double Bazaar. Mm-hmm. One, two, can't stop it. So we're in trouble here. Unfortunately, my opponent did have it. Even if we get to untap, we're in trouble. But we're not lost yet. Like if they go for a gush here and they don't have counter backup, we have a chance. Let's see if this works, guys. They may not be anticipating the Mindbreak Trap here. Oh, they just had Flusterstorm. Yeah, okay. So we did lose. Yeah. So they got us. Let's make them execute. Okay, they got us. Let's take a quick look at their deck here to see if there's anything I need to be aware of. Probably just all very standard stuff. And it is. Yeah. Okay. Difference between draw and play, right? Okay, so typically Doomsday is a deck that plays Leyline of the Void, and I'm very disenfranchised about playing Force of Vigor, but I think it might be a necessary evil. They also have Tabernacle. I'm not as worried about Tabernacle. At least if a Leyline's in play, I am more worried about Tabernacle because I'm reliant on my hollow ones to be able to win. So this is 6 cards here. I think I'm going to get rid of my bridges. Probably better to get rid of a therapy here than rather than the grief. Let's try this. Okay, I mean, we haven't answered a ley line. Opponent did not play a ley line. Well, I mean, let's get her going. See if we can resolve the grief. It's a chance this gets countered. Yeah, my opponent wants to keep it. Okay, so let's see if they can kill me here. They got rid of Murktide. Having the I beg your pardon, excuse me. Having the Wasteland here is really nice. Okay. I don't feel like my opponent is going to have anything that can punish me here with reference to attacking my graveyard. Oh, Grave Troll was a nice hit. And we do have the Cabal Therapy, which is pretty good. Okay. Let's see what we can do here. Double Therapy. If we hit another Narcomoeba, that is pretty powerful for us. We did. Okay. As long as I can't attack my graveyard, that is. Just the one Amalgam, eh? I think the first thing we go after here is Doomsday. And if my opponent wants to daze me, it will expose their land potentially to a Wasteland, which is a strong play here. So let's see. Yep. So this could be a Flusterstorm. Okay. So what we're going to do here is we're going to Wasteland. Doomsday is the card we're scared of here. Now this allows us to hit the Doomsday. Potentially. They've already Force of Willed and Flusterstorm here, so let's see. Okay, so their hand is pretty bad. I think they are going to Street Wraith here. They got a C. There goes Street Wraith. All right, so now we need to do some stuff. No, they've just conceded. Okay. I mean, we were going to go off there without a doubt. We had double Icarid coming in that were hitting for 9, and we had a Cabal Therapy in hand to be able to take the Thassa's Oracle out of their hand to prevent them from Consult killing us. And, you know, if we hit a chill, like it's pretty much game, right? Like hitting them for 9, 12. Yeah, very close. Anyways, we'll take that win. Let's see if we can pull one out here post board. I do think I like the Wasteland a little bit more post board. like trying to pull their hand apart, I think is fairly advantageous for us. Once again, we'll make a decision on these Force of Vigors. They are definitely a boon to have them, but we really have a hard time winning without Leyline of the Void. They just have all the time in the world, so we need to force their hand a little bit that way. I still think Chalice of the Void is worthwhile keeping because it shuts off their ability to use the Lotus as a kill condition, therefore making their kill a little bit more awkward. I think I like the extra amalgam in here for force fodder. So the question is what do we want to take out in this situation? I'll take out a therapy again. Let's try this. Okay, powder. Very nice hand. Let's just hope we can circumvent Leyline here. I mean, we got to get going here. We're looking for Hollow One or Force of Vigor. Okay. I think the likelihood of us resolving a Force of Vigor is fairly low this game. We might want to try and win on the stack, but let's see. Yeah, we got to keep going here. So I think we can get rid of Bazaar here. My question is do we give up like, do I try and get this grief to resolve? I guess this is what I'm looking at. And I feel like I do need to do that and try and win off the back of Hollow One, right? The problem is I really want this Wasteland to be able to play around Tabernacle, which takes me off Force of Will and Mindbreak Trap. So this is a byproduct of we can't really do it all. Now, what I could do I guess the question is what is more important here? It's the Wasteland or having double Force of Will Mindbreak Trap? Because if I don't play the land, I play into Daze. I could play into Daze, which I can counter. I also can die to Tabernacle. And I am in on this Hollow One, so I think the Wasteland is just correct. I'm going to play the Wasteland to play around Daze. Let's see what I can do with this grief. Sometimes you just can't have it all, guys. It would have been ideal to be able to keep one more card in our hand there. It really would have set us up to be able to do some work here. But let's see. My opponent is obviously sitting on a Doomsday here. I think it's a matter of they're now weighing out the same thing that I just went through as to do they want a Force of Will here? exposing them themselves to my force of will potentially. So they have chosen no. They're going to let mine resolve. Demonic Tutor. So they did have the days. We did play around that. Their mana is awkward. Dark Ritual puts them into a Doomsday should they draw one. But they're also very close to just casting a Doomsday. So I don't think the Dark Ritual is a card that I'm as scared of here. I feel like Demonic Tutor is the far more dangerous card here. And yes, they can hard cast Daze. That's all right. We will tap down our Wasteland to protect that. They did not do so. So we're vulnerable here, but Doomsday has a failure rate to it. And we have a force of will. There's the Tundra. Let's draw a blue card. That's what I want. I'm telegraphing that I have a force of will in hand here, or a force of some sort. Okay, they are going to do something here by the looks of it. Yep, Dark Ritual. And they just going to card cast the Ley Line, or they got a Doomsday? Oh, Street Wraith. I can attack through a Street Wraith. I think it's worth bazaring here. All right, I'm feeling a little more secure about things here. Obviously, we still got a ways to go here. They have a Ley Line and a Daze, one unknown card in hand, two unknowns. Cannot currently cast Doomsday with their mana configuration. Choosing not to attack. Okay, that's not a very good one, but that's all right. Next turn, I will spin my Bazaar again. I'm very interested in wastelanding them here. The problem for me is that by doing so, I kill myself to Tabernacle, and I don't think it's worth doing that at this stage. I have a couple other wastelands. So this was a scenario I was just thinking about, is that this is very dangerous for me because I can't actually attack through. This is an awful spell for me to counter. Like, what's the chances they have force? I'm going to force here. Okay. Now, if I find a force of will off the top, the blue card Narcomoeba will look really good to me. Vigor. Okay. Well, I am getting them low here. They're now down to 2, which takes them off Doomsday and Force of Will. I think I go. If I can find a Wasteland, I think it's worth it. or a force of will. So they have something here. I'm going to keep the grief here. They're down to 2 life, so I mean we're getting close. They are going to chump likely next turn. There's Tabernacle. Okay. Well, what Tabernacle does is it ends up turning on their days. They have to block here. And so if I don't wasteland this Tabernacle, I am going to forever be penciled into playing it against it. They have to chump block here, so it's just I'm infinitely tapping to block the Tabernacle. The good news about that is that if they have a second, I don't think that they have a second Tabernacle. Their last 2 lists that they have placed with on Doomsday have a single Tabernacle in them. So the benefit of me killing this now is that I don't need to worry about it in the future. I don't need to continually keep paying the tax. If they have a second Tabernacle, it's bad for me. They are going to 100% block me here, barring they have something like an STP in their deck. But STP is not why they're running a white source. They're running that mainly for a mentor, at least by their lists. And of course, I am turning days on here, but I just think that's a world we have to live in here. And we have to hope. So I think I am going to Wasteland. That is my determination here rather than paying for it. I do get punished if they have a second Tabernacle this way. So close. But this is why I run it, is to get rid of this thing here. I think it would be different if my opponent was going to pay for their Street Wraith. Right? I think double Mindbreak Trap is pretty solid here. So let's just hope. I'm not gonna Bazaar here. They can daze me once and try and kill me. They have to go for it right here. So can they do it through 2 Mindbreak Traps, which is going to be really hard for them to do. So there you have it, guys. That was a really nice win for us. I do hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like and subscribe button. We're going to see you for round 3.